Good morning. Smudging a new deck of cards because this one wants to play this morning for sure. Hi, Sandy. Hello, Soham. Good morning, Kira. Good morning, Denise. Hello, hello. How's everybody doing? Happy Friday. Did we survive this full moon? Still in it? I swear, listen, the past two full moons, the energy from them has been so expansive and large. Whatever the last one was, I remember feeling like it intensified over the days after the full moon instead of slowing down, easing up. Now, I may get interrupted because I'm in charge of cyber school this morning. So I say that mostly for myself so that I don't get ragey if somebody interrupts me. I am kind of excited for this morning's update because it's been feeling really different this week. So something happened yesterday, and I think you've heard me talk about the, well, maybe not, I don't know. I talk about the Schumann Resonance sometimes, right? And I tell you guys, like, you have those days where it's just like out of nowhere, you just feel totally out of whack. And I'm like, go check the Schumann resonance because there's a spike usually. So the Schumann resonance, it measures the frequency that the earth is emitting. And usually there is a baseline frequency that the earth has. Like it's like the earth's signature frequency. And what's been happening here lately, the past, I don't know how many years it's been happening, but it's been accelerating, is that we get these crazy spikes where it's like, 0 to 300 kind of thing. And when those spikes happen, they affect us because we are energy. So it's like we get tuned into a different frequency and our bodies are like, wah! So that's been happening a lot. The spikes have been super intense and accelerating as the earth is literally shifting up into different frequency. But yesterday, unless this information is not correct, but I think it is, the Schumann resonance flatlined. And I haven't checked this morning if it's back at it, but if any of you guys follow that, you can let me know. But it flatlined yesterday. And that's not typical. That's an event. And, what a way to kick off September. So a lot of different energies at play currently. And I'm wondering if you're feeling that today as well. And have you been feeling it this week where any shifts that you make have a resonance to them that is much more powerful and intense than ever before. I'm talking a lot to people about words, right? Reframing the way that you describe yourself, talk to yourself, how you describe the world around you, because we are so incredibly powerful with our manifesting, and we have completely forgotten that. So we autopilot these words and these phrases that we may not have even thought up of ourselves. We just say them because they've always been said, right? We have ways of speaking to ourselves in our heads that reflect all of the programming that we've received up until this point. But every time you use words, it's like spell casting. And so those words matter more than ever because you are literally shaping the world around you and your inner world. You're recreating a lot of things. So if you can catch yourself in some of the unhealthy or undesirable talk or self-talk, you can kind of reframe that for yourself and retrain your synapses so that you are not autopilot manifesting some shit you don't want, right? So, for example, For example, I hear every day when I'm talking to people, yes, that's something I need to work on. I really need to work harder on that with myself. And I will look at you and I will say, you don't need to work on yourself. You don't need to fix yourself because you are not a machine. You are a person. You are pure energy and spirit wrapped up in skin on a sphere that is suspended in a galaxy. You don't need to fix shit. You just don't. Now, there behaviors that are negatively affecting your experience here? Absolutely. So you can invite yourself to shift your thought patterns. You can invite yourself to shift your behaviors. You can invite yourself into anything new that you want to experience. But you don't need to fix anything. There is nothing wrong with you. You're good. You don't need to work on yourself as if you're some sort of art piece that needs to be refined before it's suitable for presentation. You're a masterpiece in every moment of the day, even at your most hot mess express. You are a masterpiece. So imagine how differently you will feel if that's how you're speaking to yourself. If you say, I don't need to work on anything, I'm good, but I would like to enjoy a different experience today. So, in order to enjoy that experience, I'm going to shift my energy and my behaviors to align myself with that experience today and see how it goes. I'm going to try it out. You can do that every day. You can literally try out new energetic experiences every single day. That is your birthright. That's what we came here to do. So, the words are really important, okay? Really, really important. Because when we speak, our voice also carries resonance and also carries frequency. Our voices affect the energy around us, and the energy and intent of the words that we're using affect the energy and intent around us. So have that mindfulness. Understand how important and big you are. And if that makes you feel squirmy to think of yourself as important and big, invite yourself to move into a new energy with that thought, right? We all have that in us. Being big is terrifying. Having too much attention on us is terrifying. We don't want to be immodest. We don't want to take up space. We don't want to detract from somebody else's thing. We don't want to make them uncomfortable. Why? Does everyone else run around trying to make us not uncomfortable? Because I haven't experienced that one. But I've spent a lot of my life bending myself, twisting myself, making myself smaller with the idea that I'm making others comfortable by not being too big and not being too bright and, not saying things that might hurt someone else's feelings, even if that's how I actually feel, right? So the dissonance within ourselves is created when our words do not align with our actual feelings. And that dissonance wrecks you. It creates resentments inside of you. It creates a disassociation between your soul and your mind. And it's confusing as shit because you are not giving people truth, right? They don't know who the hell you are because you're saying one thing. So they're listening to that. Your energy is saying a totally other thing, and they're confused by that as well. So they don't know where to put you. They don't know how to handle you. And likely the way that they're treating you is making you really upset and irritated, but they don't know how to change that because they don't even know they're supposed to change it, right? And you're not giving them any feedback on that. So, words, words, throat chakra. This even goes to your relationships in your everyday life, right? We've been talking about this a lot this week too, because the relationships have come up for review yet again. You can't expect people, although it would be really great, to intuit what you want. That's insane, right? Yet, don't we do that every day? I have done it every day for years and years and years, and then I'm angry, right? It's like I want my partner to automatically understand what I need in every single moment and then give it to me. But I don't want to say it because I think if I say it, then it's not worth it anymore. Then the action will be lessened and it won't be what I want because I've asked for it. Do you hear me say that? Do you hear what that sounds like? If I ask for what I want and then it's given to me, it's not as worthy and I don't want it. What the hell is that? Now that is crazy, but it is so ingrained in some of us. Like, and for me, it was so ingrained in me in like my training as a woman that people need to just like my relationships. You need to intuit what I want, and if I have to tell you, um, then maybe we need to break up, right? Or I'm just angry all the time and we're gonna fight. We're gonna fight. So fun and sexy. It's not fun and sexy. If that's fun and sexy, then you should probably invite yourself into some different energy as well, right? So, what a huge difference it is, right? To ask yourself, first of all, what is it that you actually want from this person? What do you need? And then open your mouth and say it. And don't say it nasty. Just say, here's where I am emotionally right now, and if you do X, Y, and Z, that would really help me out. Most partners, most, not everyone, because there are some assholes out there. I know. But if you're in a relationship with somebody who's invested in this and is trying to make things work with you, which I know a lot of you are, your partner is not going to look at you and say, oh, you've asked for what you want, and I'm certainly not going to be able to give that to you now. Especially if your partner is a guy, because most guys just really would love it if you would tell them what the fuck you want, right? Anyone would love that. So you say what you want, and they can then make a decision for themselves if they are able to give that to you. And then we totally skip the dissonance, the rage inside, and the resentment, right? And you have a better chance of actually getting what you want. But the thing is, you can't do any of those things if you don't know what you want, right? And it starts little by little by using your voice in little ways that are true. So you can start getting used to what it feels like to speak in alignment with yourself. So you don't have to go 0 to 60 every day because this is new stuff, right? But little by little, align your words with your true self and ask yourself every day when you wake up, what do I want today? What would make me happy? What would bring me joy? Because when you are making yourself happy, you model for others how to make you happy as well. You are showing them. You are saying, I love myself and this is how I treat myself. And so then they can look at you and say, well, I love you, so I'm going to treat you like that too, because that's what you like, right? We have comments. Let's read. Hi, Rachel. Sandy says, it's hard when we can feel our partner, but they aren't as energetically aware. Being mindful that my honey doesn't feel me the same way I feel him is helping me. Yes. And this is also where words are so important, right? Because your words can be the bridge between energetic understandings. And as you work on that, as you help your partner with your words, telling them like how you feel and what you're in right now and what you need, they can learn. They can then feel your energy and know this is the word. These are the words that are telling me what this energy is. And over time, they can actually learn how to be there for you in a meaningful way that strengthens your relationship and makes things so much easier and more fun, right? Now, I know for me, in my history, like the way that I have been in my life, I have only had relationships where there was a lot of um, disconnection between actions and words. Okay. So I learned early on that if a relationship had passion, it meant we're fighting, right? There's no fighting, then do you really even love me? So, of course, being that that was my like early on experience, I bring that into my other relationships. And I'm like, if we're not fighting, um, Do you even love me? Like, is this a real relationship if we're like, this is peaceful? That feels kind of weird. So in my younger days, I would create issues, right? Like I would create things to have problems with and like fight about stuff just to kind of stir it up and have a little fun, right? And feel like we're connected. But thankfully, I'm almost 37 years old and I don't do that anymore. I have learned things. But I've been in my relationship for 15 years. So that's like most of my adult life. So I started out over here like a lot of fun and I ended up right here and I'm still a lot of fun. But every day I am aware of my behaviors now. And whereas before I was not, I can see myself moving into those spaces where it's like I clearly am wanting a little more emotional attention and I see myself maybe fire starting a little bit, right? But then I pull back and I'm like, I don't need to fire start. Maybe what I really need to do is like go hang out with some friends and shift my energy, or I need to have a conversation, right? And like use words and clear it up. So I guess today's discussion is words and how important they are. Um, I can't stress enough to you guys how incredibly vital it is for you to be kind to yourself and to express some radical, loving self care towards your own self. Before you talk to yourself, before you do something to yourself, before you subject yourself to an experience, please ask yourself if you would do that to somebody else. And if the answer is no, invite yourself to not do that. Because if you cannot be kind to yourself at the same level or better than you are towards others, that's your first big work, okay? That's what you have to do before you get to ripple out and help others. Because if you can't be kind to yourself and love yourself and treat yourself like the amazing being that you are, then that is your number one priority right now because you're emitting frequencies and you're creating. So get this right and be nice. Rachel says, I was told as a kid, if they don't pick on you, they don't love you. And I think that a lot of us have seen that modeled for us in other relationships. It's modeled for us in movies and books. It's like sayings like, oh, he pulls your hair, so it means he likes you. What? Like, what a thing to say, right? Where do you think that goes? Like, it starts at like 6 years old, pulling someone's hair. Where do you think it goes from there? Like, we're basically training our children to be little crazy people who don't respect each other's physical boundaries and don't know how to express affection except through violence, right? So all of these things need to be changed. Our words needs to be changed because we are creating with them. So that's my big thing for today. Watch your words. Make sure that your words are in alignment with how you feel. And please take some time and ask yourself how you feel. Super important. So, with that said, I'm going to pull a card for you guys from the Mystical Shaman Oracle deck, which I know a bunch of you have, and I finally have too, so I'm super excited. Do you know what I'm also excited about? It's the Starseed event tonight. I cannot wait. I cannot wait. But I'll have to. All right. Pachamama. We were just talking about the earth frequencies. How much do you want to say, like, this card is going to say things and say them better than I did? And I could have just pulled a card, called it a day. And I know I say that every time. I can't stop. All right, let's see. And as always, I will post this card in the restoration group. Okay. Pachamama represents the unconditional love that the earth has for all her children, including the stones, the plants, the animals, and humans. She is the goddess of earth, also known as Gaia, who pervades all creation in our planet. Thanks to Pachamama, our timeless soul can experience life in a biological body. The joy and pain we taste during our brief time on earth are invitations to discover the boundless love of Pachamama. You are a child of earth. Now is the time to eat right, love right, and be joyous, regardless of the circumstances you may find yourself in. Be grateful for your life, your body, and all that nourishes you. Pachamama invites you to relish each breath, embrace your joy and your pain equally, and discover love through both. Let Pachamama know how much you appreciate all her blessings with an act of service such as planting a tree, helping save an endangered species, or protecting the ocean. And then this part is the medicine. You still believe that you've been cast out of the Garden of Eden, that you are motherless and homeless. You suppose that you need to work very hard to survive or thrive. It is time to stop suffering. Let go of that old myth and realize you were given the garden to rejoice in and to become its steward. Your melancholy is really a longing to return to the heart of Pachamama. Listen deeply to the mother who is always there for you. Walk in beauty and honor all life. Well, that is beautiful. And I will post this in the Restoration Facebook group. I will see some of you this evening. I'm looking forward to it. I hope that you have an amazing, amazing weekend. And I hope that you take some time to be kind to yourself, to love yourself, and to honor yourself as the incredible divine being that you are. And that you understand that those who have the privilege of being near you, hearing you speak, touching you, and being touched by you are blessed. It is a blessing to connect with each other. So feel into that this weekend. I love you all so much, and I will see you on Monday.